Hey. Hey, girl, hey. So I am live to talk about this video that has been going viral. It actually has gone viral, and I played it in the tea room. So hold on one second. I'm going to do some sharing. And if you join me on this broadcast, can you please share? Also, if you are interested in coming on the video, let me know so that I can add you and make sure you comment. But this is going to be very interesting because I think that this is something that we oftentimes deal with as women, especially as single moms. When you have a child and your baby daddy is required to pay child support, and when there is extra needed, the thought is, why are you asking for extra when I pay child support? So I want to get into that. I want to talk about that and really find out, like, what is your role as the baby's mother, okay, and as um, the significant other, because I think when I look at the video, that is the problem. It was not necessarily the mother of the child, it was the significant other that had a problem with the father doing extra. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And keep in mind, this is my opinion. If you just joined me, then please make sure you share, because I want to find out, like, other people's thoughts. I was a little shocked yesterday when I saw the thoughts of some women. I honestly thought, and this is why it's good to find out what other people think and to get other people's opinions, because sometimes we think that a person thinks one way, but they think a little different. So I like to hear and why people think the way they think, and I also like to hear how people think. So make sure you share. I am sharing, and make sure you share. Okay. So I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can add the video here so I can see if I can get you guys so you can really see what video that I'm talking about, because you may or you may not know the video. So let me see if I can pull up the video so you can see actually what video I'm talking about. If anybody is familiar with the video that I'm talking about, the young lady, the significant other of the baby daddy, is highly upset because the mother asked for um, some shoes. I guess the child needed some shoes, and the child's mother asked for the shoes. Asked the father to pay for the shoes, and the mother, the significant other, felt like she shouldn't pay for any shoes because um, she's already paying 500. He's already paying $500 in child support. Now, granted, um, for one thing is I'm going to play the video, but I'm going to be very cautious about it because I do know that it has some kind of explicit language in it. It does. Hold on. I don't think you guys can hear it. Hold on. It has some explicit language in it because apparently sis is highly upset about being asked to pay for this. But I think I will say this. This is why it's extremely important to pick and choose wisely. Lord, I'll just say that. You have to pick and choose wisely. So, yep. So I'm uploading the video now so you guys can see the video. But make sure you share the broadcast. And then once you see the video, then we'll kind of dig into it. Please excuse the language if you are like, language sensitive, which I don't like using bad language, cuss words, and things like that. But for the purposes of discussion, this particular video does have some, choice words in it. but I want to get into it because I feel like it's something that we definitely need to talk about. Because I'm a little taken back by the other woman. I feel like as sisters, we need to stand together. We need to support each other. And I'm a little taken back. Now, let me give a disclaimer. Keep in mind that we only see in part, right? So that means that we're only seeing a partial part of the video. We're not seeing the whole thing, and we don't quite know the backdrop behind the story. There could be some bad blood between the baby mama and the significant other, and we have to take that into consideration. We have to take into consideration that maybe bruh cheated with the baby mama with his significant other, and so we have to take that into consideration. So there's some things that we have to take into consideration that I think we can't just make an opinion, but for conversation's sake or discussion's sake, we're just going to go with the scenario that has been presented. So I'm going to play the video again. Disclaimer: if you are language sensitive, please, please, please do not click on the video or go ahead and hop off, because there is some bad language she uses. So let's see. Here we go.
This is the shit I got to go through. It's like I got to choose between my child and my marriage. And the shit getting old. It's getting very old and frustrating.
Between your child and your marriage, what is you doing? I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm recording, man.
No, I ain't recording because you ain't dropping that shit. I don't give a damn about no Facebook, no YouTube, or nothing. No. And I don't care nothing about that. Because my thing is right here, you pay $500 a month. You can drop it. I'm going to put your business out there. You pay $500 fucking dollars a month in child support, and ain't nobody been doing no extra. No shoes, no clothes, no toys, no nothing. Fuck all that.
What you talking about, man? My son needs some shoes.
I don't give a damn. No, she can get the shoes out of child support money. She get the shoes out of child support money. That's what you pay child support for. The court ordered child support. You ain't got to do shit else. And she.
Thanks. I think that's it. It's about 3 minutes of the video. If you actually want to see the whole video, then go to my page or go to Tiana's T. If you're in Tiana's T page, then go to Tiana's T, and then you can see the whole video. But I think that's it. So we have a gist of what it is that we are talking about here. So let's just get into this comment. Hey sis, I can't see everybody here, but hey Tish, make sure you guys share the video. And she is extremely, extremely bothered. And I realized that there has to be something deeper behind her anger, because there's no way anybody can be that upset about paying extra just because you pay child support. So let's break it down. So apparently he's married. The child father is married, and he pays court-ordered child support $500 a month. And the wife is bothered. She's bothered because the child's mother asked the father to purchase some shoes. Now, according to the father, he feels like he's being put in a position where he has to choose between his child and the mother. And his wife. Okay, so that's the backdrop of the story. Now, if y'all have some single mothers, some baby mamas, some baby daddies, please share this broadcast with them, because I want to get into the nitty-gritty of this. I have been there and done that. I have been on both sides, where I have been the wife and I have been the baby mama. So I have been on both sides, and so it can be a little tricky, but let's dig right into it. So first of all, he pays $500 in child support. $500. Now, court-ordered child support, I don't know if you guys know how it is, or if you guys have had to put somebody on child support, but what they do is they give you a worksheet. I don't know if you've ever seen the worksheet, but the worksheet kind of breaks down like the cost of living for, number one, for both parents, individual, and it breaks down the expenses and what you have to pay out. And then some kind of way, I'm not sure what formula they use, but they come up with what they consider a fair amount of child support for the non-custodial parent to pay to the custodial parent in order to assist with taking care of the child. I have never seen a fair child order court support number. I'm going to be honest with you. That is me. Now, I know that when you get up there and you have, celebrities and you go to court and you have some leverage and things like that, the money can go higher. But I've never really seen a fair child support amount, because here's why. Certain things are not accounted for. So let's say he pays $500 a month, right? All right. So if I break that down, and I did an equation yesterday when I answered it in the group when I gave my response. But if a child, you pay $5 per meal, 3 meals per day, we're talking $15 a day. Multiply that by 30, okay? And most of that child support money is gone. And that is just to eat. That is only if the child is eating 3 times a day. Most children eat more than 3 times a day. And especially if you're a teenager, they play sports and things like that. So of course, most of them are eating more than 3 times a day. So I'm trying to understand, at $500 a month, how is that considered a fair amount to pay a custodial parent to support the child? Now, unless the mother was getting subsidized housing and somebody was paying her lights, her utilities, I'm not sure, but $500 a month is not enough for anyone to even live, to pay rent, to pay mortgage, to pay utilities. It's not enough for any of those things. So those $500 a month that she's screaming about, I don't think that's enough to take care of that child and buy shoes, sis. So I think that these are the things that we have to think about realistically. Clothes. These are things we have to think about realistically when we're talking about child support and when we're yelling over $500 a month. And I know that that's what he's ordered. Like I said, I have seen the calculation sheets. I'm not sure what formula they come up with, but if we're going to share the cost of living for a child, that means you need to take in consideration how much it costs for me to rent this place or for me to pay my mortgage because a child has to stay here, right? That means you need to take in consideration my gas because I'm doing the majority of the transporting him to school, to sports, to whatever extracurricular, after school activities, extracurricular activities. I'm transporting him. So are we taking that into consideration? All right. If he wants to play a sport, who's paying that fee for him to play sports? Who's buying the uniforms? And I say he, but it can be a little girl as well. Who is paying for the uniforms? Who's paying for the transportation? Who's paying for the meals, for all of that? There are so many things that we must take into consideration when we're talking about shared custody and we're talking about taking care of a child and sharing the responsibilities. So I was a little taken back when I saw another woman kind of discouraging her husband to buy shoes for his child. I don't know. I don't know about you, and y'all have to share and tell me, but I would not choose to be with a man who is not taking care of his child, who feels like just paying what the court ordered is enough for him to help support his child. I wouldn't want to be with a man like this. And in addition to that, we must think about, what if you were in that situation? Like, what if you was the sister in that situation? And what if your baby needed some shoes and you footing all the bills, you're the custodial parent, you're taking care of the child, and you ask for some shoes, and you have another woman discouraging the father from helping out to help support and take care of the child. Granted, she said he paid $500 a month, but again, when we break that formula down, that is nothing compared to the cost of taking care of a child. And I'm going to get deep with this because I feel like we don't think we think superficial, we think on the surface. Again, think about it this way. If she got welfare, right? She'd have to get welfare, she'd have to get Medicaid, she'd have to be in Section 8 housing, she'd have to, let's just say, taking the bus for transportation. Let's just say she did all of those things, right? Well, why should she have to remain impoverished to take care of a child that her and someone else created? Like, to make it easier for him to be able to afford to pay what he pays. Why should she have to live in poverty? Why should she have to accept less? That is one of the things, as women, one of the things that we have to realize is that, when we have children, it is a different cost. When we have that child and we have to take care of that child on our own, then that puts us in a whole, forget about the glass ceiling. That puts us in a whole different bracket, because now we have the weight of supporting not just ourselves, but someone else. So now that glass ceiling is getting lower and lower and lower. And this, believe me or not, this is how a lot of women end up in the system, because they need help that is not being offered by the father of the child. They need help supporting that child or taking care of that child. And so I think that we have to think about that. Like, it is so different and so hard with no help. It is so different. The other thing we have to think about, and this is, we're at such a disadvantage. And I know that I have different audiences, but I'm going to talk about us. I'm going to talk about our color for a minute, because we are, a lot of times we are the last ones in the race. Okay, you pay $500 a month, sir. What are we doing with savings? What is this child going to do when they graduate from school? What are we doing about college education? Where is that $500 taken to account that child, preparing for that child to leave school and go to college and have a better life? Wherein does that $500 take into consideration that eventually that child may need a car? So I feel like, we don't think about these things when we think, oh, well, he's ordered to pay child support, he's paying a certain amount of money. And I think it's selfish. I'm just going to be honest. I think it's very selfish of us to think that the money that the court orders is just enough to support a child. I feel like that's very, very selfish. And absolutely, daycare, after school care, most times is $500 a month alone. I did the calculations for this. So let's just say we already know, and we don't know how old this child is. But my God, when my son was a child, when he was a baby, and I had to pay for daycare alone was about $112, $120 a week. We're talking a week. When you multiply that times 4, that $500 is gone. That is not food in that child's mouth. That is not lights. That's not transportation. That's not clothes. That's not any of those things. So come on, we have to think about this when especially, oh my gosh, if as women, we could understand the power of our influence and how we could support each other and make life better for each other. But again, once again, I don't know if you're just coming in, but we're talking about the video clip where the wife of the child's father was highly upset because the mother asked for some shoes for the child, and she felt like the money for the shoes can come out of the $500 a month that he pays for the child that the court ordered. Yes, thinking of an inheritance for a child. Forget about inheritance. right? We can't even, with $500 a month, we're not even touching the amount of food the child eats a month. And I realize that this is a shared custody. But listen, when you're the custodial parent, you are footing most of the bill, majority of the bill. That $500 a month might be 20, let's say 25% of that child's life that month. We're not talking about field trips. We're not talking about any extracurricular activities. I mean, we're not talking about the wear and tear on shoes. We're not talking about the growth of child. If the child is in Pampers, forget about it. You can't buy Pampers for $500 a month. And oh, let me talk about this. I did the calculations for formula. Okay. A can of Similac, $40. $40. Okay. One can is, I think it was 15 bottles. It has 15 bottles. That child, I believe they were saying that that child should drink at least, I want to say it said 5 bottles. Y'all don't quote me on this because I'll look it up, but 5 bottles a day because you have a growing child. I'm going to look it up real quick. Let me just see really quick. You have a growing child. So we're talking 15 bottles comes out of 1 can of milk. So that means you need 3 cans of milk, right? You need 3 cans of milk per 5 days. That's $120 every 5 days. Okay? Every 5 days, and we're talking about 30 days. Hey, Conchita. So by the time we take those $500 into consideration, forget about formula. You don't even have the money to buy the sterile water. And why, again, I understand that, Lord, we have to get out of this impoverished mindset. I understand all the programs are out there, for single moms and moms with children and things like that. I understand all those programs out there. But that should not be your mindset when you brought a child into the world, that there are other subsidized programs out there to help take care of your child. No, that is your responsibility. You shouldn't be thinking, oh, your baby mama need to go get on WIC so she can take care of and get free milk for your child. That should not be her mindset. She should not have to go. I don't know if people stand in the WIC line or not, but she should not have to go stand in the WIC line waiting on cans of milk because you don't pay. You think that the $500 a month is enough to cover all the formula the child is going to need, the Pampers the child is going to need, the clothes the child is going to outgrow, the shoes the child is going to. Come on, we've got to think about this. So I'm going to play the video again because I want you guys to know exactly what we're talking about. Very sad situation, but I think that we need to play it again. So I said it earlier. If you are language sensitive, this is not the video that you want to stay and watch because sis is very upset. But I'm playing a few seconds of it so you can see exactly what we're talking about because we're not just overreacting, but this is the mindset of some people. Here we go.
This is the shit I got to go through. It's like I got to choose between my child and my marriage. And the shit getting old. It's getting very old and frustrating.
Between your child and your marriage, what is you doing? I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm recording, man.
No, I ain't recording because you ain't dropping that shit. I don't give a damn about no Facebook, no YouTube, or nothing. No. Hey, I don't care nothing about that. Because my thing is right here, you pay $500 a month. You can drop it. I'm going to put your business out there. You pay $500 fucking dollars a month in child support, and ain't nobody but doing no extra. No shoes, no clothes, no toys, no nothing. Fuck all that.
What you talking about, man? My son needs some shoes.
I don't give a damn. No, she can get the shoes out of child support money. She get the shoes out of child support money. That's what you pay child support for. The court ordered child support. You ain't got to do shit else. And she ain't gifting nothing else. She should have never took the fucking child support out if she needed more money.
You shouldn't feel like that, though, man.
Why shouldn't I feel like that?
That's my fucking child.
I don't fuck that child.
Okay, I told y'all that if you're language sensitive, it's not the video. But if you want to see the whole video, go over to TNST group. It is there. But as you can see, she is very, very bothered that the child is needs shoes, and she feels like they should get that money out of the child support money. Come on. Summer programs nowadays, if you make, okay, let's see this comment. Some of them programs nowadays, if you're making a little bit of money, you don't qualify. And this is a thing. Why should a woman who is who you've created a child with, brought a child into the world, why should she have to have an impoverished mindset and think about she got to hide assets? She can't have a savings account. She can't do certain things because in order to qualify for certain programs, in order to help take care of the child, because the money that you are being ordered to pay is not enough to support that child. First of all, I feel like, number one, no one should have to take you to court to pay for your child, to take care of your child. Nobody should have to take you to court to take care of your child. It's your responsibility. But in addition to that, come on, the role of the wife. Listen, you are there as a helpmate. You are there to support your husband in doing what is right. So the idea that another woman, a wife, a potential mother, because we don't know what her status is, could dissuade a child's father for doing any more for that child other than paying child support is sad to me. And I ask myself why. Now, mind you, we only have a small snippet. I think the video is like 3 minutes, 12 seconds. We only have a small snippet. We don't know what is going on in that household. We don't know what the history was with this particular couple. But what we do know is that she suggested that he get the $500, that she take the shoes out of the $500 a month. And that's not enough to do anything with. Your role and position as a wife should be, listen, I understand what it takes to take care of a child. You need to help her. Let us help her. Let us find out what else this child needs, because I realize that this is not enough. And I don't want to see my sister straining in a financial hardship, having to get on welfare in order to support a child that the man that I love, the man that I married, is responsible for. So come on, we have to, we have to be a helpmate. And again, I don't know what happened in the background and what is going on in the background of that marriage. But listen, no man should feel like he has to choose between taking care of his child and taking care of his wife. How are you helping him? How are you the helpmate? Think about it. I literally had to quit my job as a teacher because I couldn't afford the extra cost of daycare. Absolutely. Listen, I remember having to use Title VIII in order to help pay daycare for my son because his father was not involved. And at that time, I didn't put him on child support. I felt like nobody should have to make you take care of your child. So I resisted and refused child support for years. It didn't matter because later on, when someone taught me into putting him on child support, it wasn't like it was paid in the first place. So, sometimes you go through this great length to enforce child support and it's still not paid. So it doesn't really matter. But my point is this: even what is ordered through courts is not enough. It's not enough. And if you have the influence, if you have the attention and the voice of your husband, listen, why would you not encourage him to do the right thing? That child has nothing to do with the complexities of the adult relationships. Again, I don't know why sis is so mad. She is bothered, and the way she's talking, I can't imagine that it's just because she asked for child support, asked for a pair of shoes. I just cannot believe she could be so angry. So we don't know the complexities of that relationship. But what we do know is this: that child is innocent. That child's still going to need shoes. That child is still going to need clothes. That child is still going to need to eat. And God forbid, bruh lose his job. Whose responsibility is going to be then? So as a wife, what should your role, your position be in that situation? even if there are complexities in the relationship between the adults, listen, why don't you step up and say, you know what, let me be the mediator between the two of them. Let me be the liaison. Let me be the peace in the midst of this situation. Let me protect this child like I would want someone to protect my child. I think sometimes we forget that a lot of times, you may have a child. You may be single and have a child. And how would you want the next woman to refer to and to support and talk about your child? Because we reap what we sow. So I think we have to think about that. Why would you want to see another woman struggling financially to take care of a child that your husband helped bring into the world? That's like, to me, that's like the bottom line, right? All right. Now, the kid's mother. Let's look at the mother on the other hand. Like, what should her role and her responsibility be in the midst of this situation? I'll tell you, for myself, it was very difficult for me to ask for child support. Because again, I felt like, why should I have to make someone take care of their child? If he don't know he need to take care of his child, I'm not going to make him take care of his child. And so I went for years and years and years, not enforcing child support, until one day I talked to a lady and she said, it's not for you, it's for your son. And your son is at a disadvantage because he does not have two incomes. He doesn't have two incomes like the family, the standard family who has two parents and a child, where there's two people supporting the child. So money is being put aside, college education is being paid for, savings are being put up for that child. And so you're putting your child at a disadvantage by refusing to put him on child support. So I listened to what sis said, and I went down there and I said, okay, I'll put him on child support. Well, I did. And guess what? It did nothing. It did absolutely nothing. Put him on child support and he still didn't pay. They threatened to suspend his license. And let me tell you, hey, Day, I put him on child support and they threatened to suspend the license. And let me tell you something. If a person don't care about taking care of their child, I mean, are they really going to care about much of anything else? So did that really help or benefit? No, it didn't. But I understood the concept. And that is, when you are a single parent, you are at a disadvantage because you only have one income coming in. Okay. So now you have to work extra hard, or your child does without. So you're working extra hard to make ends meet, to make sure that your child has their basic needs met, but then their future is weighing in the balance because you don't have enough to put up savings, you don't have enough to prepare for a college education, you don't have enough to purchase them a car, you don't have enough in order to do the extra things that puts children in a better position when they leave the house, when they leave the nest. And so as the single mom, listen, if you're getting child support and you feel like that child support is not enough, and bruh not stepping up, honestly, go back to court. Go back to court and have that child support amended. I hear that you can go back and you can have it amended, and they can increase it. But keep in mind that it's only based off of the income that person makes. So therefore, if he's not making any more money, unfortunately, they're not going to raise your child support. So now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place. What can you do? Get a second job. 1, 2, and 3 jobs, exactly. And working so much, 1, 2, 3 jobs, the child still feels alone. Absolutely. It is a disadvantage that we're at when we're single moms, is that sometimes when you have a father that's not stepping up, you have to work extra hard, or maybe even work on getting a degree so that you can improve your opportunities for employment. You can improve or increase your income, online. Get online and start creating online wealth. Do certain things, but don't allow your child to suffer as a single mom. Don't allow your child to be at a disadvantage because the father won't step up to the plate, the wife won't make him step up to the plate, and you're not making enough. Do what is necessary in order for your child to be in a better position when they graduate, when they get ready to leave the house. Do what you need to do in order to put your child in a better position so that when they get in school, they don't feel ashamed, they don't feel bad because they're not, I don't want to say, because I don't like comparisons, but they're not afforded the same opportunities as other children that may have two-parent households and two incomes coming in, or incomes are substantially higher, where the parent can afford to do the extra for the child. I think, like I said, children are the only innocent people. I'm not gonna say victims. Children are the only innocent people in the midst of the situation. And so they should not have to suffer because we chose unwisely. The first thing I will say is this, especially if you are a single mother, or if you're single and you don't have children, choose wisely. Listen, do your research. Find out how, if the person that you are interested in has children, please find out how is he supporting and taking care of those children. Please do not get involved with a man who does not see the importance of taking care of his child. Listen, bottom line, if he does not see the importance of taking care of the seed, the fruit of his loins, chances are, sis, later on down the line, somewhere you're going to struggle. Somewhere you're going to struggle because that's a mindset thing. And, you know, a man with an impoverished mindset, a man with a mindset that does not take accountability or responsibility for his seed is already a problem. A man that does not mind seeing his baby mama struggling on welfare just to take care of his child, living in subsidized housing just to take care of his child, the child he brought into the world, that's a problem. I'm telling you that right now, that's a problem. So do your research. Don't just hop into a relationship because it looks good, he looks good, you know, and you feel like, you know, this might be, you know, he might be the one, or you can change him. Listen, first of all, why would you want to get in a relationship with somebody you got to change? If he's not already there, can you imagine the work that's going to be required for you to change his mind, for you to change his mindset? Can you imagine? Second, if you're a mother, if you're the other woman, or you're the wife, or you're the significant other, come on. Think of that child. Think of that man's child the way you think of your child. Because remember, if you have a father that is involved in your child's life, there's going to come a time when that child is alone with his significant other or his wife. There's going to come a time. And how do you want that woman treating your child? How do you want that woman talking about your child and the support that your child's father gives to him or gives to them when you're not there? So I think we have to think about that. I know that scenarios are different, and I know some of the women were like, some of the women made the comment that, you know, the mother's taking the money and doing other things with it. Well, this is very true. There are the possibilities of women, and it happens a lot. Women take the money, the child support money, and they do other things with it. But listen, when we start calculating, $500 a month is not enough to do too much extra with. I'm going to be honest with you. $500 a month is not enough for her to do a whole lot of extra. It definitely ain't enough. The way hairdos cost these days, it's definitely not enough for a sister to get her hair done and her nails done. So it's not like he's paying so much money that she could be out there living a lavish lifestyle and the child is suffering without. So I think we have to think about things like that when we start generalizing situations, making a general statement in regards to, oh, the mother should, maybe the mother shouldn't be spending the money on herself. Well, listen, that's something else we have to think about. If the father can get involved in all these things and take care of himself and get his hair cut and do all of these things, and take trips and have a good time, without pressure, why shouldn't the mother? Because she's the custodial parent. And let me say vice versa, because I know there's some fathers out there that are custodial parents. So I'm going to say it could go either way depending on who the custodial parent is. But why should the custodial parent have to suffer or sacrifice when the other parent is not sacrificing? I'm not saying this to say, well, for you to get the mindset that, well, if he ain't doing it, then I'm not doing it. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying that for is to cause us to think a little more when it comes to these situations. When we say things like, well, maybe, the mother shouldn't be spending money on extra things. Well, why should she not have enough money to spend on extra things? Why should all of her money have to go towards supporting and taking care of the child, and the equal part in bringing the child into the world has free reign over what money he has, or a limited amount? Think about it. When you are ordered to pay child support, when a man or a woman is ordered to pay child support, what it's saying is that I'm only obligated to pay $500 towards taking care of this child. Whatever else that child needs, that's on you. Come on, we have to think about that. Is that fair? And is that how we really want? Is that how we really want to think about that child and the parents and the child's father, or the baby mama? Is that really how we want to think about this? Loving his child because you love him isn't enough. Having your own bond with his children should be important to you as a wife. Absolutely, that should be vitally important to you. Because listen, I say this all the time, and I will say it again. Love don't pay bills. Love don't make you accountable. Love don't make you responsible. It does not. That's not enough. That is not enough. As a helpmate, you're to help him in every area that he may be lacking in. If that means, listen, if you decide to marry somebody that has children, I'm sorry, but that means those children now belong to you, and that's your responsibility, and you need to help support those children. Yeah, I'm sorry your income is tied up. Yes, I'm sorry they may be garnishing your taxes or garnishing his wages now is causing lack in your household. These are the consequences of the decisions that we make. But the child is not at fault, and we cannot keep making children pay for the mistakes of the adults. That's what I feel. Exactly. That's just how that's just how I feel in regards to this situation. I want to know how you guys feel about this. I really want to know how you guys feel about this, because like I said, I was a little taken back, when I saw some of the comments in regards to this situation, because honestly, I guess my thought was, women support women. Women want to support each other, and women think of themselves the way that or they think of other women the way that they would think of themselves. And so I know that if I have a child, I want the woman that is with my child's father to encourage my child's father to take care of and support his child, to do more than just the bare minimum. And so I was taken back So does anybody else think differently? I mean, and you don't always have to go with the crowd. You don't always have to think like everybody else. I know people have their own opinions. People think differently, and I actually can respect that. I really can respect that. I can appreciate the fact that there are some women that don't agree. There are some women that don't agree. There's some women that honestly feel like, hey, you know, she should get the shoe money out of the child support money and keep moving from there. And then I'm thinking about, my gosh, she only asked for shoes. Lord, imagine she had asked for a shirt and some pants. Sis was very bothered. I don't know. So is there anybody else that thinks differently? Anybody else that thinks that, that sides with the wife, thinks, hey, you know, there's no more extra that should be coming out of our pockets to take care of this child, to support this child. If you think differently, please drop the comments below, because I like to understand, like, why do people think the way they think. I like to hear people that think differently. I'm typically a type of person who think that I'm right about most things, but anyways. And so when I hear someone's comment or mindset or opinion that is different, I like to know why, because that is the only way that we can grow in our thought process. I can't think of right now, and it may be, I may be biased, but I can't think of another reason as to why a wife would discourage her husband from giving extra, doing more for his child than just what the courts ordered. I correct me if I'm wrong, but I just can't think of it right now. In addition, I think that I heard her say that she should not have taken the child support. So it sounds like that there may have been some, some problems or some struggles, some aggression or animosity behind the fact that the baby mama put the father on child support. But I can understand why. With the mindset of the wife, I can understand why she would have felt the need to put him on child support, because at any moment he could stop, he could not do something, he could stop doing what he was doing, and then what little help she was getting becomes no help. And we all know that some help is better than no help at all. So, those $500, maybe it's not taking care of everything, but it could be offsetting something. I mean, it could be taking care of a bill or two. So, putting him on child support was to her advantage. I can tell you that, based off of the conversation that we are privy to, it is definitely to her advantage. So listen, if you think differently, or you have a different opinion in regards to this situation, drop it in the comments below, and I promise you, I will comment. I will come back, and we can have a discussion about this particular scenario, because I just want to come on and talk about this, because this is kind of like a hot topic in the tea room right now. It's a hot topic. Let me see something. I want to show you guys something. Let's see. That man should be able to buy his child whatever he wants to buy him. So see, some people's comments I can't see. Buy him. Somebody said that man should be able to buy his child whatever he wants to buy him, because ain't nobody gonna tell me what I can and can't buy mine. Hello. I mean, and I understand when the wife says that, what do you mean you need to choose between your wife and your child? Completely understand. But the bottom line is this: he should not have to choose. And if a woman can come in and cause you to not step up and take care of your responsibilities, then you already have a problem as a man. You already have a problem, as being the head of anybody's household. If someone can talk you out of taking care of your responsibilities. So I can't see everybody's comments on here, so I have to go over here so I can see the comments and tell you guys what's being said. But let me tell you. So hold on. There's a lot of comments over here, so I'll tell you what we're looking like, what these comments are looking like. All right. First of all, they are both looking for a viral moment. Somebody, yeah. And I heard that it's a few people said, like I said, we don't know the backdrop behind it. We just know the 3-minute, 12-second clip that we get to see. But I think that it opens up for good discussion. And it gives me the opportunity to just tell my single sisters, listen, choose wisely. Choose wisely. And my non-parental sisters, if you don't have children, listen, choose wisely. Choose who you're going to have children with wisely. I mean, I'm pretty sure we all think that we chose wisely, or some of us didn't even think about how we was choosing because we never saw ourselves as getting pregnant or becoming a mother with that child's father. So we didn't think at all. But choose wisely. Listen, it's not worth it. But if the man wants to be a father and get his baby some shoes, let him be. The wife is clearly dealing with some underlying issues that she is bitter about as well. Paying child support is systemic, and fathers with a heart should not be on child support. Absolutely. Bitter baby mamas think they are punishing the man by putting them on support. My husband has missed multiple child support payments taking care of his daughter because at the time he could not do both. At the head of the system, the wife is right. Focus on the payments. But if you have additional income, what does it hurt to give extra? Hello. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. So somebody said, mighty God, I just finished watching this stage video. So little girls grow up and become mamas to grown men without realizing that dysfunction. Ew. Who is she talking to? Her son or her man? So if you're just coming in, I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at the video, but I will play it again. If you're sensitive, if you're language sensitive, it is. She has some cussing in there, but I want you guys to know what we're talking about. Trina says, as long as anything extra isn't taken away from the home, I wouldn't care. My husband paid child support and still does extra. When his daughter calls and asks for help, he provides, period. Absolutely. I think that if in any time that there's extra, I mean, we need budgets. But again, I also feel like those budgets should include your children. Listen, I remember, I'll never forget when I had a conversation with the wife that my child's father married. And I never forget that she said to me in a heated discussion, she said that as long as we have children, he's going to always provide and take care of my children first. Although my son was first, way well before she came along, she told me that she's gonna always make sure that he takes care of her children first. And that really, really did something to me. That really bothered me because I could not understand how another woman with children could fix their mouths to say that the child of the person she chose to marry is not included in children and that he should be taken care of as well. So listen, choose wisely. If you choose to marry someone with children, please consider that child as your own. If you're going to take extra and take care of your children, then you need to pay extra and help take care of the other person's children. It shouldn't be more of a weight on one parent than it is the other parent. He chose her and she chose him. They chose to be together knowing his prior situation and her attitude about it. Dysfunctional relationship. Absolutely. It goes back to the relationship. It's toxic. I said I was going to play it. Hold on a second, you guys. Let me just play it one more time so you guys can hear it. If you want to hear the full video, you'll need to go over to Tiana's Tea and click the link so you can hear the full video. But I'm only going to play a small clip of it. And also, if you are language sensitive, please turn. Okay.
This the shit I got to go through. It's like I got to choose between my child and my marriage. And the shit getting old. It getting very old and frustrating.
Between your child and your marriage, what is you doing? I mean, like, what's going on?
I'm recording, man.
No, I ain't no recording because you ain't dropping that shit. I don't give a damn about no Facebook, no YouTube, or nothing. No. Hey, I don't care nothing about that. Because my thing is right here. You pay $500 a month. You can drop it. I'm going to put your business out there. You pay $500 fucking dollars a month in child support, and ain't nobody but doing no extra. No shoes, no clothes, no toys, no nothing. Fuck all that.
What you talking about, man? My son needs some shoes.
I don't give a damn. No.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about. Sis is pretty hot. Okay. About him having to pay, him being asked to buy shoes when he pays $500 a month in child support. And again, we already broke down the scenario of what $500 a month actually looks like. But with that being said, I don't think that $500 a month is to it's to help support a child. I saw where somebody did make the comment that I think $500 a month seems like more than enough to be able to buy a pair of shoes or something from Walmart. But remember, that court-ordered child support is supposed to be for shared custody. It's supposed to be the take into consideration what is needed or what is required to take care of that child's well-being. That $500 a month does not take into consideration that that child may go through 1 or 2 pair of shoes in a month because he's playing extracurricular activities. So come on, we have to think about this. What does it cost to take care of a child per month? Like, is that $500 enough? Is that $500 enough to put food in that child's mouth every day, to put clothes on their back, to make sure that they have somewhere to live, to make sure that they have transportation to get to and from, to make sure that they're groomed, to make sure that they can get involved in extracurricular activities? No, it's not. No, it's not. And so should he have to do more than just pay $500 a month? Absolutely. Should he have to be made to do it? Absolutely not. Should he have to choose between his wife and doing what is right? Absolutely not. But here's the bottom line. Bruh, take care of your child. Be accountable. Be responsible. Do the extra. Do more because your child deserves it. Okay? And pray that your wife, God will open your wife's heart, fix her heart so that she will understand the importance of you being a man in your own household. I'm telling you, when you step up to the plate, she'll appreciate it in the long run. She might not see it now. She might be a little upset now. I'm not sure what bruh did to her. But whatever he did, in the long run, when he get it together, she will appreciate the fact that he stepped up in the midst of her mindset, her foolish mindset, that he stepped up to be a man and to take care of his child in the long run. I don't want to keep you guys any much longer, but I just wanted to have that discussion. If you think differently, drop the comments in the comment section of this post. I will come back and comment and we can talk about it because, yeah, I want to know how you guys think about this. Listen, also, when I get off this live, I'm going to be posting our next event. It is breast cancer. A rose is still a rose. It is our breast cancer celebration event, survivor celebration event. It is a huge event, cocktail party that we have every year. I'm so super excited about the theme. A rose is still a rose. It is a cocktail party. It is cocktail attire. We have a good time. We celebrate our sister survivors. It is co-ed. You can bring your significant others. We want them to come along and help support their wives, their mothers, their daughters, their aunties, whoever they have in their family that survived breast cancers. It is October the 8th at the Orlo House, where we had it at last year. Super excited about the entertainment that is lined up. And I cannot wait to see you guys there. I will be posting it next, and I'll post the link so I can make sure you guys get there, you attend, and we have a great time together. I love you, and thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you guys real soon. Love you. Bye.